at the pin. Coming down. It's on there. Welcome guys, welcome to, it's kind of a fairly blustery day. I wasn't going to do a video this week, but there's a few things I was going to do. I've been asked a few times about my new clubs that I bought just before lockdown. I'm going to have a quick chat about that, tell you what I think of them and whether I think it was a good move to move from my previous clubs to these. And I'll just quickly run through the clubs in my bag as well on the way round. We're going to hit some shots. I've got my daughter Willow, she's on the camera, so any dodgy camera movements, it's her fault. We're here at the Roman Road. We're just having a nice quiet round. Willow's been hitting a few putts and a few shots as well. Maybe I'll put some of those in as well. We'll start off with the 7th. It's a nice par 3. It's a good one to kind of start off with because I can go straight into these clubs, which I think you might possibly remember just before lockdown. I purchased these iblade, ping iblades. They're quite upright. They weren't fit for me. I just saw them and accidentally bought them. You know what it's like one night. So they're green dot. I think that's 2 degrees upright, and they're an inch longer than standard. So pretty funky setup. But I thought it'd be an interesting exercise to see if it makes all that much difference, this custom fit business. And so far, if you've seen from my previous last few vlogs, I've had a 62, and I think the last one was a 65. So I'm playing pretty well with them. Somehow I'm adapting. Now I'm not saying that's the best thing to do for everybody. Really, you should get fit and then you can just relax and swing with your normal swing. But a player with a kind of slightly more skill can really adapt to anything, I think. And so, because when I go to America, I quite often play with ladies clubs, seniors clubs. If I'm in a town and I've not got my golf clubs, you know, I just take anything that's going, and it's, you know, it takes a few holes to get used to them. But you know, to be honest with you, I'm not sure it makes a whole lot of difference. It hasn't to me so far anyway. This is the 8 iron. I've got about 152 here, which is quite nice. Good yardage for this club. I love this par 3. It's you know, I really kind of enjoy playing this one. It sort of fits my eye. And so I've got the ping eye blades, which goes up to the 6 iron, and 6 iron to 4 iron. I've got i500s, and so far I really like them. I'll chat as we keep going. I'll chat about why I like them and why I think that they might be a good idea for you. Let's give it a go, shall we, Will? About in the middle there. That was pretty good. So first of all, as you can see by the flight, if you look back down the flight of this, it's actually a higher loft as far as flight time with these clubs. So well, if you direct it back down to where it was, you see that it's just landed on the back of the green there, and back to me again. So it's landed on the back of the green. So normally my older clubs, these are strong, I must say. And I've not had any super flyers yet, which I'm expecting to get a few super flyers. But the main thing is when you strike them poorly, they really do kind of consistently stay within that range. So if you've got like a 5 iron and you catch it quite fat and heavy, which I do, everybody does, I still am able to get a bit of flight out of it. Whereas when I've got a bladed set of clubs, if I chunk one, it goes about 150 yards. If I chunk a 4 iron with this, it generally only loses about maybe 10 or 15%. I mean, I don't hit it super fat, but I mean, as far as I'm concerned, if I can just catch it a little bit heavy and it can fly most of the way, I'm really happy. And that has happened quite a lot since I've been out. I've not played any competition rounds, so it's been really good for me to just practice round and get used to them, kind of wear them in a bit. But that shot, you saw that, I mean, it was quite a strong wind from right to left there, which was holding that up, which I didn't realise until I hit it. But it was the middle of the green. That was, I would say that these fly probably 15 yards, a good club and a half further than my other clubs. So that's quite nice if you're into that sort of thing. I've never bothered with it because I've always thought, well, I'll just take one more club. But I thought I'd go across these just as the exercise. And so far, so good. They still look quite bladed. I'm quite happy with the look behind the ball, certainly how I've got used to them. And I think they're just like a really fantastic club for a lot of players. The iblade obviously is a little bit more of a player's club, But if you're thinking about going to something like Titleist APs or something like that, I think it's well worth trying them. Just give them a go, and you can always mix your set, so you can go iblade into the i500s. The i500s are like pretty powerful clubs. They're the ones that I'm expecting to get flyers with, but so far they felt really good. Sound is not so great, but the feel of them, you know, feels fantastic. So we're well happy with that shot. Hopefully we can keep that going. So we're just trotting down to the old green here. Look, there's Willow.
Hello.
Now I'm doing the old handheld business. Good for the old biceps, good for like a little workout. So here we go, here's where it landed. It's actually a little bit long, so I think it's 156 with an 8-iron, and it's not down breeze, it was slightly into, so you can see that's really quite powerful. My old 8-iron used to be about 140. So it doesn't make that much difference, but if we have a look, there's still plenty of spin on it, so let's have a look. Let's pan down here. So look, there's the flag. I mean, not my greatest work, but that was steady. It's all right, and you can see there, it's pitched there with an 8-iron, just span back a little bit. So this is what we are left with. Very nice, all very good. So if you've watched any of my other videos, you've probably realised that I've always had this old Ping Answer 2. I've had it for about 35 years, had it, you know, hold thousands of metres worth of putts with it. And I've never really wanted to change it because I don't want to jinx my putting. But what I've decided to do this season is to get one of these mallet style putters into the bag. And it really was just by chance, to be honest. I saw this one, had a few putts with it and thought that's really nice. I enjoyed kind of the sound of it and the feel of it. And it's a Scotty Cameron. It's a Futura 7X, and it just feels really lovely. It's got the little red bits at the back. It's quite nice. I thought, I've never gone for the Scotties, I've always been into Answers, etc. So I gave this one a whirl, and I've really sort of quite enjoyed it so far. And I just like the feel, I like the sound, I like the way, because sometimes my pattern stroke does it is quite open to closed, which is perfect for the bladed style putter, as you probably know, like an Answer. But when I feel like I'm getting a little bit square to square, this is perfect. And so it's quite nice to switch out one for the other, just to, you know, if your putting just goes off just a little bit, it's nice to try something new. But I don't like switching too much. I like to get used to one or the other. So you've got your bladed putter and you've got your mallet putter, and you've got the two then, the choice. So let's see if we can knock this one close or in. Oh, I don't think it's going to be in, but we'll give it a go. Just breaking off the right, little right to lefter here. And with all these putts, I'm always trying to think, it's all pace, because anything with break on it, which is nearly everything with break on it, it's always all about your strike and your pace, because you'll never hold it if you don't get that strike correct. So I'm almost always thinking, I'm getting my line and trying to match it up in my head, visualising what it's going to look like. Oh, get in. No, a little bit low, but as you can see, there's a lot of slope on this. You can see by the tracer here that it's kind of a whole load of break, and if I'd not have got that break correct, that ball would be so far right or so far left, you know. So it's generally about that pace, picking that line and knocking that, kind of trying to get the momentum of the ball to stay on that line until it drops off at the end, like this one. Luckily, in this position, I've got quite an uphill putt left. So I've got an uphill straight putt left. Do you know what? This is actually not not that close. Let's have a look. This is where this putter feels so good. All those lines going on. I just feel like I've got a good chance of holding this. Yeah, it just kind of feels nice off the blade. It feels kind of, I feel very lined up. With an Answer putter, often you don't get lines on the back, but when you look at that, you kind of really do see a nice kind of those tracks to try and visualise how your putt's going and where it's gonna drop in the hole or not. Anyway, so that's the putter. That's a new putter in the bag for this season, next season. So let's look at the big dog, shall we? This is my 440, which is the smaller head M1 TaylorMade. This was the version I changed to maybe last season. I changed back from the more modern one, and I really enjoy it. I like the sound of it, I like the feel of it. The numbers are the same as anything else I've tried, but I just enjoy the look of it. I like the big white line across the top. I'm not a big fan of the ones getting smaller and smaller. I like the shine on it. This is the M1, the 440, which is the smaller head. It's the Tour model. Now the Tour model just means that it has been checked to a higher standard. It's been closely scrutinised as far as the legality of it. So that's all it is really. And but what I do have in it is the 8.5 degree, which I normally loft up. So I put it on the higher loft. But I've got this Alpina 573 shaft in it, and I've had this in my last 4 drivers, maybe 5 drivers. And one thing that you might find interesting is it's actually the length of a 3-wood. So it was just a little bit longer than a 3-wood, but it's pretty much a 3-wood shaft. And for me, club head speed is not the biggest importance, because I'm not playing on courses that are 7,600 yards all the time. Generally speaking, I'm playing on your normal courses on the amateur scene, and to be honest with you, strike is more important for me than the added club head speed which the longer shaft would give you. So I quite like the feel of it. Yeah, and to be honest, when I bought the shaft, I didn't even offer it up. I just thought this feels good, and I played with it for ages, and I got it re-gripped the other day, and the guy, the pro, wherever he was, said, oh, it's for a 3-wood, is it? And I said, no, it's for my driver. And it was only at that point that I realised. So, and I went to my other shaft that I've got, which I really enjoy, which is the longer shaft, and when I looked at the numbers, there's very little difference in it. Fair enough, I had a few more miles per hour on the club head speed on the other one, but the strike was better with this one, so ultimately you got to go with the strike every time, because strike is absolutely key, especially to amateurs. It's a bit different if you're absolutely pure on it every single time, then you want to kind of maybe look at your club head speed to get your better numbers. But most players, I would say, and most of you watching at home, you want to get your technique better so you hit that strike in the centre every time. Like Tiger Woods' dad once said, I want you to swing it as fast as you possibly can, as long as you hit it out the centre. So you know, swing it as fast as you can, making sure you hit it out the centre, and I think that's a good thing, you know, looking at your numbers. So let's give this one a whirl then, shall we? Nice. So we've got, to the pin, got 190 yards. So we're looking at the i500 here. That's a 4-iron for me. It's slightly into the breeze, so these clubs do go a long way. They really fly, really travel well. They feel good in the hand, but like I said on the other irons, when you fat one and hit one badly, it actually still goes quite a distance. I hope to hit this one well, but if I don't hit it very well, we'll be able to see what it's like. Okay, so I'm just gonna try and get it down to that green. The pin's just on the right, so I'm gonna probably hit a little fade in here. Let's see how we get on. If I can hit a little fat duffer for you, that'd be brilliant. Now that's straight at the pin, go, 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 down. See that?
Yeah.
Ooh, that was good, that was good. I was trying to hit a bit of a duff one there so I could explain with a poor strike what it was going to be like. But you see it flew really nicely. It holds its, you know, it's quite hard to get a lot of shape out of these, which is a good thing. I actually like hitting it with a bit of shape. So if I've got like a left to right or right to left, with this, I can kind of take off a little bit of what I normally would do instead of a huge one. It kind of holds its line in the middle a little bit better, so a bit more confidence, so I don't have to throw it out quite so far. But really good clubs, i500s. I can definitely recommend mixing these with the iblade for a really good set of clubs for every handicap, I would say. So this is the short par 5, this is the 9th at the Roman Road. I'm normally hitting a driver and a sort of a mid-iron perhaps, but we're going to choose one of my favourite clubs in the bag, and this is the M2, and it's a 15 degree 3-wood by TaylorMade. I absolutely love it, and more importantly, this Diamana 60 Mitsubishi X-Flex shaft is the business. I absolutely love this. I snapped my last one, didn't snap it, the head cracked, which does happen a bit with TaylorMade clubs, so I've found, but they always replace them. And it cracked and they don't do this shaft anymore, unfortunately. So, and because you can take it off the top, when I snapped my last one and sent it back when it was cracked, they reimbursed me with the latest model, which is all very nice, but it didn't have my shaft in it, and I really didn't like it. So I looked about on eBay, managed to get this one with the exact same as my last one that I used to have, and I just love it. So I'm going to hit it off the tee here with a view to possibly hitting a 3-iron in for the next shot, and so I can show you what my 3-iron is. Okay, let's give it a go then. This is one of my favourite clubs in the bag. I can hit sort of stingers, high, low, all kinds. For this one, I'm just going to try and just hit a little fade off the left side, fairly high if I can. And that's just down the right with a touch of draw. so I don't know whether you saw that, but there you go. It just works wonders. Whatever swing you put on it, it kind of goes down the middle. So that's the 3-wood M2 Tour, that one. Now I'm getting you in it. There she goes. Wow. So I've just hit that 3-wood about 295, just slightly into the breeze. We're in the middle of the fairway. I'm only joking. I've kicked it on about 70 yards because it was well back there and I couldn't hit this 3-iron. So I've kicked it up to here. I'm in the middle of the fairway. I've got upper slope into the breeze, 200 yards. This 3-iron that I hit, it's a pin crossover with a stiff shaft. Really nice, I love it, it's fantastic, and you really can literally nearly miss this and it go quite well, which I love about it. I bought this for a particular hole when I used to play at Ross on my golf club. I bought it just for that hole and I've kept it in the bag ever since, so I love it, it's really great. Now with this one, it does fly fairly high, and it does fly quite flat, so normally I wouldn't necessarily hit it into a green. It's more of a tee shot kind of club, but you certainly can hit them into greens, but with me it can go anywhere from about 215 to about 250, so that's the trouble. When one gets going, they really go, which is fine off a tee, you know, if you're just trying to blast one down there. Anyway, so hopefully we can get somewhere nearby. It's getting pretty dark, but let's give it a go. I'll try and knock it out. We got the flag on the right. I should be aiming for the middle of the green because I'm going to short side myself, but just because of you guys, I'm going to aim straight at the flag and just try and put a half decent strike on it in the dark. Let's see if we can follow this, Willow. Just aim at that bunker on the right. Let's see if we can blast it up there. Right. That's exactly what you don't want to do. So I've sort of toe chunked that one to the right and completely short-sided myself. It is a par 5, so that's not quite so bad. But I think I would have been disqualified by kicking it on 60 yards in the first place. But I hit that terrible then, and we'll see. I bet that's gone 200 yards. Like, this is exactly what I'm talking about. If I hit a 3-iron, a bladed 3-iron, that ball would have been 50 yards back there. That ball there has carried over 200 yards because these bunkers were 200 yards and we got a little bit left of the green. So I'm not pin high, but I hit it so bad you couldn't have seen or heard how bad that was, but it was an awful shot. So we're left here and I'm hitting one of my wedges. This is my 60 degree. I always chip with this one. Nearly everywhere I can I try and chip with it. I think I've explained that before, you can look back, perhaps I'll link a video above. And it's the SM7, we're still rocking the SM7s. I got this and I got a 54 as well, which is my 100-yard club. So I'm just going to try and, I've short-sided myself. This is the last thing you want to do ever, but I'll see if I can float one onto the green somewhere with this club. You're going to try and follow this one, Willow?
Yeah, I'll try.
All right. It might go quite high.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm just try a little floaty. Near enough. I mean, that's probably, I guess that's 6 foot, so tour average, every other putt maybe, from, what is it, 8 foot, every other putt should make, so I'll give myself that for a birdie. That's allowing me 60 yards. Hopefully you enjoyed that. I've got a couple of things coming up this week. I got the Big Oggy Golf Day on the 1st of September, which is my birthday. Just remind you, Willow, which is my birthday. And then on the 11th of September, I'm going to Wayne Dewey's Golf Day. So I'm looking forward to meeting some of you guys if you're going to be there. Make sure you come up and say hi, and if not, we'll see how we go. I'm probably going to vlog both of them just for a bit of fun. Hopefully not to put anybody off that I'm playing with, but fingers crossed we'll do a little bit. So thanks again for watching. if you're enjoying the content, please subscribe because it's really cool. The kind of our followers, our little community is really starting to grow, so I'm enjoying it. We've got about 1,200 now, so if we can get to maybe 2,000 this time next year, I'll be made up. So thanks a lot for everybody who's already subscribed, and for those new guys, welcome, and thanks for following by. So I'll see you next week.
Happy birthday, Dad. Have a great tournament. Bye.